I was.
Awesome. All right, welcome to Conspiracy Theories Football. You got two of your hosts with you today. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but every time my man Mater wins the competition, eBay doesn't show up.
Mysteriously.
You know, it kind of makes me happy because when I win, he's here. But when Mater wins, he won't even show up.
So should I not be happy?
You know, you can be happy. I can see the happiness on you because you know you must get to it.
Yeah,
you must get to it.
Net behind.
Yeah, there's something about you winning it because I'll never forget. He's like, Mater ain't never won the big trophy.
Yeah, he'll never win.
And then the one week he comes in. And Mater's holding the big trophy, the little trophy, and all the money.
He was at,
where's eBay?
He caught a flat tire. He didn't make it to work that day.
He calls in sick. Today, he's all like trying to catch up, making a big deal. We need to do triple points. We need to do this. And we all called him out on it. It's like, cause you losing so bad, you want this double or nothing deal to get you back in the game. Which
we're obliged.
Like we talked. Me and him talked. We're like, we'll oblige you. Antonio's like, you know what? Double or nothing, doesn't matter. I'm still gonna beat him. And so Mater pulls through, and it was funny because last week Mater was on this show, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna take Cincy. I ain't gonna be greedy. I'm going to take the 50 points because they're a heavy favorite, so you don't hardly get points when the team's a favorite. And he's like, you know what? I'm just going to do that. And he got 50 points for taking Cincinnati.
And that's what he won.
And he won by 50 points.
Not exactly.
It was exactly 50 points.
You can't make that up.
It is exactly 50 points.
You can't write this in the script.
It's exactly 50 points. So that was awesome. So it was so great because last week,
he said that
the cameraman, when I told the cameraman what happened, he's like, I remember him saying that he ain't a greedy man and he'll just take the 50 points. So it was funny. That's what did it for you.
Yeah. I remember that. That's crazy. You remember that. Yeah. But I remember that after you reminded me.
Yeah. So it's always fun.
Wow.
And
so had I not got that game, me and him would have tied.
Me and you would have tied.
Me and you.
No. He lost. He's third place.
Oh, so I thought
if the Cowboys lost to the Buccaneers, he won. But me and you both took the Cowboys.
Oh, so
you were 50 points ahead of me, and so I won and you won. So we both got 200 points for that game. But you were up on me 50 already.
Because of the Cincy game.
Yeah, because of the Cincy game.
No, but Dallas was the favorite.
Yeah.
So they couldn't have been 200.
No.
Nah, 'cause they
we both took
up.
the spread. It was only like a 3-point spread.
Yeah. Double the points.
Yeah.
I got 200 instead of 100.
Double the points.
I was wondering why you did that with Cincinnati, just didn't take the 100 points.
Yeah.
Get a 2-point, what was it, 2.5 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, why you just didn't do that and get the 100? What you been 200?
I thought about that.
Yeah.
I said that.
You'd have done that, you'd have took out from
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said that too.
And just to let everybody know, the interesting thing about it is, now he only beat me by 50 this week, but Antonio, I had a commanding lead on everybody, and eBay's been talking trash about how he's going to catch up. But this man right here is so quiet, he just kind of slips up on you from behind, you know?
Like a ninja.
I'm sitting there looking, waiting for eBay, and just to let you know, eBay is 2,000 points behind me.
Whoa.
So I'm sitting there like, where's eBay at? Hey, wait a minute. Mater is right on my tail. So right now, Mater is only 250 points behind me. That's practically almost one pick split on this, you know. Yeah, can go either way. So this week is going to be a fun week. We're going to have some fun. We're going to have eBay send in his picks because he couldn't make it in.
eBay, we miss you, man. Jack Danielle.
Yeah.
Catch you next week, bro.
And not all the way sure, just to let everybody else know, you know, I hope this thing makes it big one day and all kinds of people watch this to know that my wife beat him in bowling yesterday as well. And he told this man right here that he would get a turkey before anybody else.
It would pay if it happens.
And you know, yeah, exactly. And you know what happened? I lit the world on fire. I was getting strike after strike. I was doing great, but I was not the first person to get a turkey. this man was the first person to get a turkey.
You know he wasn't about to give me a dime, Jack.
What if they give you a quarter of
But
that
then
chicken?
eBay tells everybody that now a turkey is 4 strikes.
Yeah, it's out.
Once you got 3, you had to get one more.
Yeah.
Turkey on the phone now.
Yeah. Oh man. Everybody at the place was laughing because none of us are professional bowlers. We had one guy that played for the high school team, but we all knew that 3 strikes was a turkey.
Everybody knows that.
So that was a hilarious thing. And so there's a lot of things. Like I say, my wife beat him and tried to keep from, hurting his feelings because everybody's making fun of him. But everything she would say just made it worse. She was just like, oh, I'm sorry. You know what? I have a 14-pound ball and you only have a 12. If you would bowl with a heavier ball, you could do it. And so all of us guys were like, that's right, eBay. If you could roll with a 14-pound ball like this little girl, you could get a better score.
You could beat her.
Oh, man. We love eBay. We give him a hard time. And since he's not here, we're going to make him pay for it. And if I'm not here, I expect the same thing. And I tell you what, if eBay were to come back to 2,000 points and beat me, I won't be here that day. I'll admit it. I'll admit it. Hell, I don't even think the cameraman's gonna want to be here for that.
Podcast over.
Hey, he on. He might well just do it he might well just film it himself.
Yeah, exactly.
I come and film him.
Yeah, just Jack Daniels.
Yeah, him and
Without
Jack
talking.
Daniels. He'll have Jack Daniels running the camera for him.
My man.
So, we're going to start off on these awesome picks for this week. It's getting down to the nitty gritty, and I'm actually, every time I say I'm not confident in a week is when I do my best and I win those weeks. But this week I am confident, which isn't great.
You know what that
it's not great.
You know what that means.
But I'm so confident on my picks. It's like, I really feel like I got this one down. And so that usually spells doom for me. And that's what most gamblers have told me before. If you are certain, don't make the bet. Because if you're certain, other people are certain and they're making the bet, and Vegas ain't gonna let everybody win.
No, or it wouldn't be a Vegas.
Exactly. Oh, exactly.
Right.
That's true. So, our first game we're going to talk about today is Kansas City and Jacksonville. Man, I was so happy when they were down 27-0. I was ready to tell everybody after that game, I was going to get on here and tell you, we told you Jacksonville didn't belong in the playoffs. And then, I believe totally there was a huge rigging job there because they totally did Bosa in. If you go back on camera, I dare you to go back on camera and watch this because this is crazy. But you go back on camera and watch every snap. The guard that's guarding Bosa jumps first. Before the ball snapped, before anybody else, he jumps. And if you watch it, you'll see it every time. It's crazy. But then one time, they get a big sack in the game. And it makes it 4th down and 20. And the Jaguars had to score on this drive to stay in the game. You know what happened? They called a neutral zone infraction on him. And if you look at it, it was too close to call. So, if you were able to challenge that call, then it would be hard to tell because it was just so freaking close.
They would have just uphill.
But for him, the guy that was against him was going so far back, and you know what it's like playing sports. If you do one thing all the time like you are if you're a lineman, and all of a sudden that guard's standing 20 feet further back than he's supposed to, you think you're supposed to be closer up. But anyway, that's my conspiracy theory, and that's why I'm ticked off watching it. And so was Bosa, who got 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties because I don't think he was in on the rigging this week. You know?
Or Bosa's one of their featured actors.
Yeah,
Now,
exactly. Yeah, we thought that's true. And if he is, he did a dang good job because I believe him. Because I was sitting there thinking, man, if they did that to me, I'd be ticked off. And there's Bosa over there, man. He was mad.
yeah.
So, here we go. Jacksonville is playing Kansas City. It's an 8.5-point spread. I'm just going to come on out and say I'm going to take Kansas City. I'm doing it. I'm taking Kansas City minus 8.5.
Oh.
I'm saying they take them out. I say they get up 27 points, and unlike the Chargers, they keep pouring it on. So that's my prediction.
Hey, Paul,
what you got?
is that the biggest comeback in playoff history? 47?
That hurts, Leslie. That hurts, man. That really hurts.
What?
The greatest comeback in playoff history was my Houston Oilers up 35-3 on the Buffalo Bills. And then in the second half, Buffalo came back and won that game 38-30.
So what about Brady?
Or 41-38.
What was that? Over Atlanta.
It was 28-3, I believe. Yeah, it was almost there. But that was the greatest comeback in the Super Bowl. But the greatest comeback overall was poor my Houston. I watched that game, and I swear to God, people, the next day I loved my Oilers, and I didn't care. And I had big balls when I was a kid, I'm telling you, because I walked into school that next day with my Houston Oilers shirt, and I dared anybody to say anything about it. Because I'm telling you, I saw that game, and that was the biggest cheat job ever. And if you look it up on Wikipedia, they'll tell you all the bullcrap that happened so Buffalo could win that game on Wikipedia. You know, so it was a terribly officiated game. They saw the thing, and they're like, you know what? We want Buffalo to come back. And so it didn't matter if the receiver ran out of bounds 10 yards, which happened, comes back in and catches a touchdown. They were like, oh. You know, he basically ran around the referee. So the referee had to see he went out of bounds.
You vividly remember that.
Oh, dude, it hurt.
He won't forget.
I mean, Leslie just said that, and I knew Leslie didn't choose violence on me, but I felt like he was. All right, so I took the Chiefs minus 8.5.
All right, so I'm looking at your sheet here, and I'm gonna go total opposite of that. I'm going Jacksonville plus 8.5. I don't think they're strong enough to beat the Chiefs. But with them 8.5, they golden, baby.
And I will say this, not as a flip-flop or anything, but 7% of the bets are going on Jacksonville winning. So that means 93% of the bets are on Kansas City winning. So as much as I know Jacksonville is nowhere close to on the same field as the Kansas City Chiefs, I can see Vegas letting Jacksonville win this game. And if they do, man, we all need to boycott the NFL. I'm telling you. I mean, even they can't pass that off on us, people. All right.
You can't boycott them for writing a good script
That's true.
and putting on a good show.
Yeah.
That's true. They gave it to Burrow last year and let him make it all the way to the Super Bowl. You know, so you never know. But yeah,
Jacksonville 8.5 for me, y'all.
All right.
You mean the whole thing or the whole hook? Yeah. Hey, push record on that phone right there.
It's a Kai beat.
Optivision on the track.
On a sunny day, you might find me out the way.
Giants of Philadelphia. Hey, you know what? The end of the year, this game happened, and it was a close game. And it's kind of scary because this is one of those division rivals, and those division rivals, you never know what's going to happen in those things, man. And especially that division. That division, for some reason, one team can go to the Super Bowl, and the worst team that's on there, and it's happened twice. The worst team in the division that wins one game beats the Super Bowl team that was out of the same division. So this division can be crazy. But for me, I'm looking at this. The Giants are the underdog, and the bets aren't coming in like they're the underdog. And 67%, which isn't a percentage that tells you it's going to happen, but 67% is betting that the Giants cover the 7.5-point spread. And I believe Vegas showed you something in the regular season that Philly didn't cover that spread. So I'm telling you, this time they cover the spread. They blow Giants out of the stadium. What do you got?
I think the Giants, they ain't where they want to be yet. They trending that way. They had a successful season so far. I think they go home this week. And in blowout fashion, like you said.
Yeah.
I second that motion.
Yeah.
Philly minus 7.5.
And there's something Mater taught me one time with betting is when they make that spread to a point that makes you really want to take it. Because 7.5 points.
How could you not?
It's hard to take the Giants.
How could you not take it?
Yeah, and that's why the majority of people are taking the Giants because they put that half on there and 7.5, a touchdown plus some.
2 scores.
So yeah, that's our conspiracy pick there for sure. And then our next pick is the Bengals and the Bills. Now we all know what happened the last time these two played, and we know what the story was with that, and we know that the Bengals in that game looked better than the Bills for sure. At Buffalo.
This year.
Yeah.
Regular season.
Yeah, they were looking better to me than the Bills were looking in that game.
Yeah.
But all the bets are going on Cincy to win the game and to cover the spread. Over 60% in both ones. And that's why this is one of my fairly certain moments, you know. And plus the fact of the Damar Hamlin thing, that I think the NFL is most definitely giving this to the Bills, and I think the Bills cover the 5.5 point spread.
Yeah. That's a good pick, bro. And this is what's this, Josh Allen and Joe Burrow, about 4 round match 4 or some shit like that. So yeah, I don't know who wins, but Josh, Buffalo they'll cover that 5, man.
All right.
They'll spank Buffalo. I mean Cincinnati.
Yeah, and it's in Buffalo, playoff time, and
they at least beat them by a touchdown.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that team's hard to beat in playoff time. They're like the stinking Packers, you know.
It'll be a shootout. It'll be a shootout, I believe.
Speaking of that game, I'll just go back to it. The greatest comeback in NFL history. Speaking of that and the Bills, I'll never forget this dude, big old fat guy with his belly out, holding a sign up at 35-3, and it's snowing outside, freezing cold. He has no shirt on. He's holding up a sign that says, "I ain't hearing no fat lady singing."
Wow.
That's what his sign said, and they came back and won. And I don't know if he was in on the fixing, but that man right there, hey, no matter what, I hated that comeback. I hated that dude with the sign, but respect, man, respect, dude. If you're still kicking and you ain't peeled over with a heart attack from all them, from all that weight you had on,
all them hot
dude,
dogs.
I respect you, man. That was something else. But yeah, that's why them Bills are hard to beat, man. Those Bills fans are huge in the playoffs, and it's cold. It's nasty cold up there.
I think it's their time, man. I think it's their time to go to the Super Bowl and win it for Buffalo, because they had so many failed Super Bowl runs back in the day. It's like the NFL owned, but why not Allen though? You know what I mean? Why not him? And I'm trying to figure out how they gonna make this game go under. Whatever that over-under is. How can they make it go under?
Oh yeah.
How?
That has got to be an exciting game.
Right.
And I tell you what, we've made our picks, and we've all basically picked that the team that wins is the team that's favored. But I think we talked about this before, and I think we both might be. There's always going to be an upset. There's almost always an upset every time. So we get into the last one, so guess what we're going to pick on this one? You got the 49ers playing the Cowboys. The 49ers are a 4-point favorite in San Francisco. What are you going to do, Mater?
You know what I'm taking.
Yeah.
Cowboys and their defense is real. I keep telling people, man, it's the defense. And not only that, Dak and the offense can put up enough points to where, they can do enough to win a game. How are you gonna keep scoring on this defense consistently? And this Purdy rookie, I just don't see him doing it, bro. So I'm taking Dallas head up plus 165 in our game.
See, I'm with you on this.
I knew you would.
Because all the money is going to the 49ers. I mean, if you've watched the 49ers play, the games haven't even been close. And their defense is great. Their defense is awesome. And that Purdy kid they got in, it's like every quarterback they put in is doing great, having no problems.
Right.
But here's the thing, I think both of these teams are very heavily defensively pushed, I think both these teams are great on defense, and I take Dak in a game of stressful defense coming in on you over Purdy. He's done great. Purdy's done a wonderful job.
Right.
But, you know, third string quarterback, I don't think he's faced the kind of pressure he's fixing to face.
And it'll be interesting to see if that's the narrative, though.
Yeah.
Purdy keep winning and San Francisco keep rolling with the next man up type deal. That'll be interesting to see. So be on the lookout to see if San Francisco actually beats that. I don't think that's happening. They are favorite, though. But I like the upset here.
In my prediction, you said on the last one, and I'm with you on that, take the over. I say take the under in this game.
Oh, yeah.
Take the under in this game.
Yeah.
Because I say Dak is going to be better, but Dak is going to have a hard time, man.
That San Francisco defense is not messing around.
Oh, man. Yeah, they got the other Bosa over there, and man, he's looked better. He looked better than the brother for sure.
Yeah.
So this is going to be quite a game and a lot of defense, and it might even be a boring game, really.
I doubt it. They got a great weekend of football for us, man.
Yeah.
And they're gonna keep us in front of that TV, watching these new commercials they putting out. You know how they do.
Oh yeah, yeah. So hey, it's great. We love playoff football. You know. It's money-making time. It's where you find out, you know, who the NFL has there. And, you know, all through the year, me and you's made picks through the year, and we said who we thought would be in the Super Bowl. You started the whole way with the Bills. Early in the season, I told you, Kansas City, when they played the Bills, that the loser of that team would go to the loser of that game would go to the Super Bowl, and I told you exactly what would happen in that game. I'll never let you forget that. I told you that they would go down. They would go down the field and score a touchdown at the very end of that game to win it. That the Chiefs or the Bills would go down and win that game, and then the Chiefs would go down and something controversial would happen and they would lose. And that's exactly what happened. An interception got thrown that wasn't really an interception, but, you know, the bottom line is I had a feeling the NFL wanted the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. I said it from the very start when we first started this thing. I said the Chiefs would win the Super Bowl and beat the Bills. But after the Hamlin thing, I told you, I think the NFL is all about those storylines. All about them, and I believe that for Hamlin, they'll let the Bills win the Super Bowl. So I'm jumping off my own pick from the very start. You've been on that bandwagon the whole way. You've ridden it, and you've been right all the way.
Yeah.
Now, our friend over here, you know, had the Titans and the Browns in the championship game. You know, so not exactly the best pick. You know, we talked about it earlier. The man's heart made his picks, and his heart got ripped out all the way through the playoffs. And the only thing he's got left is his Saquon Barkley this week. That's the only heart he's got left.
Well, next week we're gonna let him come and defend himself and speak up for himself and see what he has to say about those predictions.
That's right. And we'll let him come back and, you know, he's going to listen to all these bad things we said. We're going to give him an opportunity to defend himself. It's great today because we can say all this stuff. He has no ability to defend himself. Let's see what he's got to say next week. And if he loses again next week, it may just be us again. Well, let me take that back. If Antonio wins this week, then he may not be here. So
that ain't the case, baby, man. I know that ain't the case. I know your tire. I know you got a flat on the interstate. in that low profile 44 tire you got. I know you got a flat.
Yeah.
And one other thing I wanted to mention before we left is that Cincinnati game. Now, the conspiracy theory football, I got to bring this point out because you watch that game and the Ravens should have won that game against the Bengals. Now we both got points for this, and we wanted Cincinnati to win. So no, this isn't me.
Right.
This isn't me being upset that I lost. But when you're at the 3-yard line, you don't take the ball. It's like our buddy Leslie here is what, 6 foot?
6'3".
6'3". I'm 6'2". So that'd be like me trying to pull schoolyard crap on Leslie and holding the basketball over his head saying, "What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?" This man was the smallest dude on the field, doesn't even jump. He's at the 3-yard line holding the ball up for him. What do you think's gonna happen?
Pulled it out of his hand.
If you if you see me and you see our cameraman and I tell you I'm going to hold this ball up over his head and taunt him, you know what's going to happen. I know what's going to happen, and that's what happened. And they knocked the ball out of his hand. The big dude gets the ball, runs 98 yards, and scores the touchdown that wins the game. And nobody on the Bengals team could catch him. He's on the sideline huffing oxygen. The man had to take a few plays off. Man had to sit there and breathe some oxygen. I mean, no.
He said he got fired, you don't pick that pen up.
You want to see greatness, Shaq?
Yeah.
Let me show you, Shaq.
He said fired, you don't pick it up.
Let me show you greatness, Shaq.
I'm just telling you, something fishy was about that. Now, I'm not 100% sure on this, but go back and watch the Hail Mary too. I don't understand why a man stands back behind and the ball gets tipped up and it's there. This is my dream, people. My dream. I always wanted to be in the NFL for a Hail Mary pass and that ball be sitting right in front of me. That's my dream, man.
In a game-winning scenario. Game-winning scenario.
You know what? I don't care what happens the rest of I could blow my knee out the next week. That was my dream, man. Just the ball.
Game-winning scenario.
Right in front of my hands.
Wow.
And he watches the ball hit the ground and falls over like he's diving for it, but it was in his hands. So, I don't know.
See, that's a horrible actor. That's a horrible actor.
Yeah.
They might have to do something about him. He might not have a
trade
job.
him out.
And what even makes it more weird to me is nobody interviewed him after the game.
That's what I asked you. I was like, so why didn't they interview him?
I didn't see anybody interview him. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe somebody in one of the, little tiny stations or something, interviewed the man. But I thought, that's my first thing. I'm like, hey, dude, ball was sitting right in your hands. What happened, dude?
I guarantee you social media interviewed him.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's why we call this show Conspiracy Theories Football. We have all kinds of conspiracies. But, if you notice, if you take our picks, you'd be doing pretty dang well. I mean, you take his picks, not necessarily so,
You got to be here to defend yourself, man.
Yeah.
And what
got to
happened?
defend you, Jack.
And what happened when you missed?
Just remember that, man. And you said you had a headache that morning, and I was with you the day before. And I'm going to tell you right now, and this is so mean and so terrible, but you're not here to defend yourself.
Don't do it, Paul.
So we're going to teach you not to do this.
Paul.
But my wife drank more than you, man. And she didn't wake up with a headache this morning. Oh, man. I didn't even tell these guys I was going to do that one. But I had to do it. I'm sorry, man. I love you, man, but you don't show up for the show again. Don't show up again, and you'll see it gets worse every time you do it. So we love you all. We hope you enjoy our picks. We hope you make some money. We hope you have an enjoyable playoff weekend. Love you guys. See you next time. Be sure to tune in next week.
Love you.
Let's roll them.
more. Cut my phone off and count my bread.